It's very interesting that you mentioned, you didn't want to go to Denis and ask, is there a role for me? Because you've made no secrets about wanting to play Bane.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
story came out recently, and it's very interesting to me because I feel like the more we have these established universes, the more we have these stories of people going to the studio and being like, I want to play this role. And I'm just
Right.
wondering, sort of, what was the moment for you where you're like, I'm the person I should be playing Bane? Was it a connection with the
Uh,
character? Was it a just a
yeah, there was something about, there's certain characters that I don't know, I've just kind of latched onto over the past 10, 20 years. And Bane was one of them. And not like no discredit to like Tom Hardy's version of Bane. I
Mhm.
loved his performance. I loved that film.
Absolutely.
But I just feel like I love a crack at it. I think I could bring an interesting twist to it, and I think I could do the character justice, not only in performance but also in physicality. Like I'd love that role where I just had to, sit down and go back up to like 320 pounds just to portray this character. Like I would like that. I would happen. But I just feel like I could do this character justice and bring, really bring like a strong performance to him as well, and play Bane in a way, that's not only menacing and ominous, but also like freakishly intelligent, and just terrifying in that manner. And also, like I think that Bane would be the type of character that's so menacing and so terrifying, and so intelligent that he would hardly ever raise his voice. I think he would almost be like the character I played in Bond, Mr. Hinks, was so
Mhm.
terrifying. His demeanor hardly ever changed. Actually, he was very happy to be beating the hell out of someone. He was like, he
Yeah,
didn't, he wasn't
just
like super
another day.
overly aggressive. He was just so confident in what he was doing. And I think that's the way I perceive Bane to be as well, because he's not only he would be physically superior, but he would also be mentally superior. And I just love I love the idea of that, the challenge of playing that character, because I like when you can play a brute who's not your predictable brute. He's a brute that he doesn't need to raise his voice, because any big muscular guy can play that guy who's screaming and growling and but if you play a guy who's not only physically menacing, but is soft spoken, and just as terrifying, even more terrifying when he's speaking to you softly with a smile on his face, then that is a villain. That's a villain I want to play. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of like the way I see Bane, and I did. I don't make any pretense about it. So I had a chance to get a meeting at WB, and I walked in, and they were talking to me about this and that, and I said, "Hey, let's talk about Bane." That happened to me one other time in my career, and I had a meeting at Universal, and they wanted to talk to me about Fast and Furious, and I said, "I'm not interested. Let's talk about Marcus Phoenix." You know,
Amazing.
and
And
some
what's the
people don't.
reaction to that?
Yeah,
Did they sort of go,
I think
or
they
is
again.
that
I think they were a little put off, but it's like, man, you get a shot. I don't
yeah?
mean to offend anybody. I'm not putting down anything else. I'm just saying, like, this is way more interesting to me. I don't want to, pretend like I'm actually interested in something I'm not, when
Mhm.
there's something I'm actually really excited about that you guys have under control. Like, would you consider me for that? I mean, I don't think there's any harm in that. I'm not trying to be step on anybody else's toes or disrespect anybody else. I'm just saying, like, this is what I love, man. I'm seriously passionate about this. Like, I do a good job for you guys on this. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so, but twice in my career that happened, and twice in my career it didn't pan out.
Not yet, not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
There's
But
still
I'd
plenty of
still, if I
time.
had given the opportunity again, I would just, I don't see any harm in chasing your dreams or being honest with someone and saying, man, this is what I really am passionate about. I'd love, if you guys would consider me for this, and I'd really, I'd do this justice. I think when people are more personally invested, then it's just going to be a better product.